A friend sent me this video, so let's check it out.
Tip for you on finding vibrations. If you're having a vibration, you're having a hard time figuring out where it's coming from, this isn't gospel. This is just from 30 years of doing this. I can tell you that this is what I've found. If you've got a
So first of all, vibrations in a truck is one of the hardest things to find because you have differentials, you have the transmission, you have the engine itself, you have the entire drive line, the entire drivetrain can make noises from a myriad of different places. You have output yokes, input yokes, you have jack shafts, you have carrier bearings, you have U-joints, you have transmission, you have all the gears and the differentials. So, you have axles. So it'd be interesting to see what he says here. He already made the disclaimer, what he's saying is not gospel, but let's see what he says.
Vibration that is at a steady speed, I call it coasting, but basically if you're keeping a steady 50 miles an hour or 60 miles an hour, not any faster, not any slower, and you're getting a vibration there, that is generally a U-joint that does that.
Okay, so he's saying that if you're at a steady speed, in other words, you're not under load or slowing down, you're basically coasting along, in other words, holding one constant on the throttle, and that's when you're having your vibration. You can pretty much say it's going to be a U-joint. I'm going to have to agree with that, and the reason that is when you're under load, even a sloppy U-joint is torqued all the way over, it doesn't allow it to vibrate. Kind of the same thing with a carrier bearing. Your carrier bearing will tend to have the biggest problems at certain speeds rather than like all the time. So let's go ahead and finish it out.
Or airbag height. Those two things.
Or airbag height.
At just a steady speed. If you're under load.
Again, he's tracking pretty good there. Your airbag height, the reason that will cause a vibration is because if your airbag height isn't the right height that it should be, your jack shaft will be out of alignment and cause all kinds of torsion on the U-joints and on the jack shaft itself, and that can cause you to have vibration. So he is right. I mean, you didn't have the problem from the beginning. It's usually not airbag height. Airbag height is usually something you discover when you buy a truck off somebody else. If you have a new problem showing up, there's kind of some rule of thumbs there that you can go by, and all of a sudden I've developed a new vibration. That vibration, if it's all the time, then it's probably not in the drivetrain. Of course, it's always worth going and shaking your U-joints and checking your carrier bearings and all that, but a vibration that's all the time is usually going to be in the transmission or the differentials. And if you only have a vibration at coasting, like he's saying, it's most likely a U-joint. So really good tip there, Stevens Truck Power. I'm going to have to agree with him on this one.
You usually won't feel a driveline U-joint or something like that under compression as much as you do when it's just floating. So if you get that floating vibration, really good chance it's a U-joint or airbag height. Just a little.
Yep. Sound advice. Rock on.